Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. It's a pretty nice day around here. Got them outside kitties fed and spent a little time in my garden. And yeah, it's pretty nice. Just my tomato plants are going to go crazy out there. So, speaking of going crazy, I haven't entirely yet, not all the way anyway. No, actually, see, I've I've never changed. I've I've never changed. That's what people don't get. Nothing is different about me that it always has. People have been on a timer. There's certain timers, certain times for things with me. See, okay, this is my topic today, why I've decided not to do interviews and live streams with anybody no more. Um, to tell my story. Thanks, but no thanks. My very first video explains why I'm on here, and I've got thousands of them that people have barely watched. And when you're not a victim, but the actual target, and I've used my pain as a weapon. I've turned it into a weapon now. I alchemized it. And I'm not going to just give my time away for free. I don't want money for anything, but I have videos. If you want to know what's in my mind and what has been for going on 7 years, and another 20 over on Facebook and LinkedIn and other places, well, have at it. I think there's 2,200 videos. Be my guest. Otherwise, nah, I'm not going to give my life control over to another person asking me questions about me and then making their channel like a novelty item out of somebody's life work and pain. No, no, thank you. Like I said, thanks, but no thanks. And that's not happening ever again. I've done that. And um, when you have a lot of stuff inside your mind, I'm just going to say it like it is. Here goes. To make myself small, it would limit me. I could never explain almost 7 decades to somebody in a video, in an interview, and be understood. It's just not going to happen, you know. So, like I say, I started writing a book. I lost it because somebody had infected my laptop. I let them use it. But this is a term I made a long time ago. You can run, but you just can't hide. And then underneath the subtitle was the story of my escape from the Illuminati, you know. But so, and then my title got taken. Other people used it, heard it in the ether or whatever. But it's true. And another thing I coined because of my um, maiden name, it means hill or mountain. So I have a video that from a long time ago called Pick the Hill You Want to Die On. Then I heard people saying it. It's like, well, yeah, that's okay, but these are people that want to make money and would never actually even talk to me anyway. It's like, nah, no thanks. So, yeah, yeah. I'm not a fucking victim. I've never been a victim. I might be injured. I'm an injured warrior that'll totally fight to the death because of my injuries. and will not be injured again. It's do or die. I'm not playing, you know. There's people that took advantage of me and my strength and speed because it wasn't time, you know. So things have changed. You know, there's a certain, it's not just the planetary alignment, but yeah, that's the timer, that's the clock, you know. These people have had literally these families that have incorporated and affiliated with other groups that try to control other people and stop people like me, you know. These people that are affiliated like that, nah, I'm not even going to let them really hear what's going on because there's stuff going on behind the scenes. They don't even have a clue, not even a clue. It's the people that are truly in the spirit. I'm not talking your hokey hallelujah or halleladzo bullshit. I'm talking about actual spirit. See, now I wouldn't even have to tell my story if, like, say, if it's a female, especially, I wouldn't have to tell my story if you were listening in your soul with your heart. Yeah, to anybody, really. So, and that goes back to some of my videos about the spirit. Well, the spirits on this world, the Trinity, like a mom, a dad, and a baby, you know? But so I've got too much going on in my life to be limited and to be questioned. I don't do questions well. I only do tests from the energy that I love more than myself, and that's not even a test. But that's the only energy I let question me. Anything else? No, no, not even close. Don't even try it. In fact, I can dare you. That's how I feel inside. So interviewing me, nah, I've tried to make myself small to make other people comfortable way too much. And like I say, time's up. Um I don't want to heal. I don't need to heal from anything. Physically, yeah, but my injuries just actually make me meaner, you know. Not bitter, not angry, you know. I'm serious about that. I just have fun taking it out on the next stupid person that tries to step up with their shit. Bring it on. I heard somebody else say, like, yeah, when you're not a victim, but you're the actual target, but you start enjoying the pain, you know, when you're raised in chaos, you don't become chaos, you control it. It's like I told Doug this morning. You know, people, there's a spot in the scriptures where it says, you know, like you're in the belly of the beast. Who's in a belly? Kids? Yeah. Um, but I heard somebody say, tell him, or he didn't even say tell him, but God pulled out. Yeah, see, now here's that. If you're actually a part of the divine family, that's what went through the sea. That's the Christ spirit coming through the sea. Um, that can't be copied and duplicated and mimicked. It's a real thing. So you're set in stone. You're already there. When other people that are pretending don't know that God pulled out and you're not even going to exist. This is a trial to see how you treat people, to water you out. That is the wheat from the tares right there. Talk about terror. Yeah. Heard somebody say they're a holy terror. No, you're not holy and you're not a terror. You're barely terrible. You're just fucking stupid. Now, the Illuminati called me trouble. What do you think that means? That should describe something for you. Not sure if you caught it, but yeah. So I'm not a victim. I'm a target. I better stop being a target, but either way, I don't really even care. It's like this morning I invited some more. It's like, okay, I don't care. I'll use it for fuel. Oh, it wasn't passive. I was seeing what people were going to do. You don't know me. And I have never changed from the day I was born. That's it. There's so many people that get on there and say, well, you were this or you were that according to your point of view, not mine. My viewpoint's a little different than some people, you know. So you can't really describe me from your outlook, you know. So that's why I get a kick out of people describing God and this and that just because of some twisted texts that were put out here for people to control you all, you know. And tell me more. How much of God's science, you preachers, you people that call yourselves Christ, how much of the actual science of our biological world or even the spiritual one combined, you know, or the combination of them, making the Trinity, how much of the actual science? I'm not talking about the World Health Organization saying they own the science. These little small minded bastards don't even know science. They're just guessing on a fictitious illusion. That's funny shit to me. I think it's funnier than hell. Make a raindrop or make something brand new without God's material, all by yourself. Manifest it. Don't manifest what's already here, that's already been manifested. Y'all say you can manifest? Let's see that shit. Not just for yourself. Come on, you greedy little fuckers that say you can manifest all this. Do it. Let's see it. Not Satan or God's energy giving you stairways to go somewhere and connections and people and things that's going to make your little world go around. No, I'm talking you actually manifest. That's what that means. What can you manifest? I want to know. Everybody says they can, but I have never seen it. So, yeah. So, anyway, I know that phone call's most likely for Doug. I'm not worried about it. I don't even have my phone hooked up. That's how unbothered I am in my life. Now, somebody actually really wants to contact me or come and visit me, and you have a deep enough mind and soul that you could connect on that level, the deepest level like that, then I'm willing to get together with people. But nah, nah, no thanks. Mostly no thanks. I only have maybe 2 or 3 people out here in the YouTube world on Facebook. Well, maybe about a dozen people that I would like to meet, you know, and talk to. So anyway, I played some old songs in my community. Um, oh, 68. Couple of them from 68 and one's from 72. So some pretty good, which would be considered almost like, well, the 68 ones were more what they would call psychedelic rock or acid rock, you know. So I'm going to read you something I put in my community. I had seen this years ago and had heard about it. But see, the thing about the article that I didn't like, I had put a side note on it. Um, I'll read that to you after I'm going to read you this. Um, Woman cuts off rapist genitalia at gunpoint, then forces him to eat them. By Nathan Weber, May 2nd, 2016. A gruesome scene unfolded in North Carolina, USA. A convicted child molester kidnapped a 17-year-old, they say woman, okay, this bothers me, a 17-year-old, and took her back to his home and where he assaulted her. Kimberly, let's see, Walt, walk, walk, Walt, W-A-L-T, was walking home from her friend's house on Sunday afternoon when she says she was approached by Robert Williams, a 3-time convicted felon. Williams asked her if she wanted a ride where she was going. Walt replied, "No, thank you." That's when she said Williams drove off, but when she turned the corner, he jumped out of the bushes and grabbed her and threw her in his car. Williams took Walt to his home and he proceeded to assault her for several hours. According to the police report, Williams fell asleep after drinking massive amounts of alcohol, and Walt was able to untie herself. She then approached Williams, tied him up, and in a bit of rage grabbed a knife and castrated him. Walt stated that he woke up screaming and was yelling as she walked over to his parts and tossed them in the microwave. "I threw that bastard's junk in the microwave, grabbed the plate, a fork, and a steak knife, and cut it up like hot dogs," said Walt, in a recorded statement. "I grabbed the gun he had left on the kitchen counter, walked over to him, and forced him to eat it. I have no remorse, and I am not sorry. That bastard deserved it, and he is going to hell." According to William's statement, he said he was afraid to die and complained that Walt's morbidly disgusting request Williams was transported, or that he had complied to it. Then he was transported to a local hospital bandaged up and booked into the Fayetteville County Jail. Due to the circumstances, Walt will not be charged with any crime. Some are even calling her a hero. Now, we don't have to worry about that pervert doing that to anyone else, said Donna, who lives in the neighborhood. If we castrated every child molester, we would never have this problem. And I put, side note, this describes the female as a woman. Female, yes, but technically a girl. And some of you know, in between 15 and 17, keep in mind, this wasn't just a mental disorder or trauma. This is MK Ultra, mind control, and different things raised in combat and other things like I was. But if I had been crossed by the wrong person in between 15 and 17, they would have ceased to exist. Now that I'm an adult and I haven't felt like that for, well, long before I had my children even. But for those years in between there, I was a very inside my soul dangerous, and I'm still like that. I haven't changed. I gave people a time limit. So I just wanted to kind of talk about what I was like when I was for a couple years. I was in the middle of taking the uh, Masons that had adopted me to court to get emancipated, to get away from them. And they were fighting me, and they kept putting me in detention centers and special schools. And I even sat in an adult jail for 2 weeks, and I wouldn't tell them who I was. And they finally found out. So, and I've been sanding stuff all my life. Like I sanded, oh, furniture. I'd refurbish it and metalwork like old brass beds and drywall. And I've been fingerprinted. I barely have fingerprints. I had to keep trying to do them. And I'm like, well, isn't even just like my lack of no fingerprints kind of like that's me, even if I have like a partial one, that's still me. You know, they didn't know what to say. That's like, well, I just explained it to you. They had to have me come back in and get fingerprinted because the first ones weren't acceptable and the second ones were just like the first ones. He kept trying to push them harder on there. I'm like, well, whatever. So no, I don't really forgive the people that started this shit in my life with me and made it look like I was doing something wrong when I wasn't. Nah, that's my story. I'm not a victim. When the prey becomes predator, no, I've always been the predator with a timer. Get it straight. I have not changed and I never will. So I'm just too real, too exact, and too down to earth for most people's phony little lives. That's all there is to it. And they want to pretend like they glowed up and they're elevated by trying to emulate and mimicking whatever. Play your games. I don't fucking care anymore. You know, I truly don't. I care about people that care about other people, not like ones that would be ignorant towards righteousness. I'm talking about people that don't ignore what's real in this world. So, well, I'm going to get this uploaded. I just wanted to take a little bit of time and people say, well, and not to explain yourself. I don't fucking care what I say or do at any given moment, any day, or what anybody thinks about it. If I feel like explaining myself because there's somebody I'm talking to that wants to hear it, then I'm not explaining myself to you. I'm talking to the people that are hearing me from the inside out. So that's all there is to that. You go worry about if you're explaining yourself to somebody or not. My life's not on display for anybody. I'm here for one specific reason, period. So, anyway, enough of that. I'm going to get it uploaded. I appreciate you joining me. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.